So I've been doing some experimenting recently by testing out a few different types of scheduling software. It's more important than ever to automate your daily routine, otherwise it'll all but guarantee that you'll make a misstep once in a while. After doing some research, I found that Calendly and Motion were two options that often come up, but of course, one of them has to be better than the other. I decided to find out by using each platform, and I'm going to be telling you about my experience in this video. So stay tuned while I tell you everything you need to know about Calendly versus Motion. It's time for the ultimate scheduling software showdown. Let's kick things off with one of the most important things to consider: their price. It can be frustrating to find a scheduling tool only to realize that it's outside of your budget. The good thing about Calendly is that it's almost unbelievably affordable. Like, for real, you can gain access to many of its advanced features for just $10 a month. Now, there's also a free plan that you can go for, but considering the low price of the premium version, I'd say that it might be worth giving it a try. There's also a $16 plan that offers some excellent additional features. That's not a big price difference, and you get a ton of bang for your buck, so you should definitely consider it. I'll dive deeper into the features later on, but for now, it's safe to say that Calendly gets a 5 out of 5 in terms of pricing. So how does Motion compare? Well, it's not quite as cheap as Calendly, but it's not overly expensive either. $19 a month will grant you access to the full version, which is quite decent, but I'm not too happy about the lack of a free version. People should get the chance to try before they buy, and Motion should at least try to cater to that demographic. I won't hold this against Motion too much, but it's not a good look when compared to Calendly. Now, this pricing comparison isn't as straightforward as it might seem. You see, Calendly only gives you one seat for $10 a month. So if you're looking to get your scheduling up and running for a whole team, you'll need to spring for the $16 a month version. But then again, Motion's $19 a month plan is only for an individual too. And the version for teams costs $12 per person. Also, Calendly offers an enterprise grade plan for $15,000 a month, which is great for larger organizations. Motion doesn't really have any options other than the ones I've already talked about, so we basically covered everything in this area. In the end, I'm giving Motion a 4 out of 5. Its pricing isn't terrible, and it can actually be pretty affordable in the right situations. The real test comes when I compare their features. This is where things really started to tilt in Calendly's favor, at least in my experience. I could talk all day about its countless features, but for now, let's just go through an overview, shall we? For starters, there's also the dedicated API. Calendly's big on constant availability. It tries to make this possible for its customers, and it lives by this motto as well. What this means is that you have an API to integrate it into your personal site. And you also have an Android and iOS app so that you can easily check your schedule from your phone. There's also those access controls that keep you on the straight and narrow. And when you combine them with the activity tracker and regular notifications, you have a recipe for maximizing productivity. I'm talking real-time notifications, by the way, which basically made it impossible for me to miss a meeting unless I just couldn't be bothered to attend it myself. Oh, and the data from the activity tracking feature gets incorporated into regular reports. This creates a real sense of accountability. Sure, you're only accountable for yourself if you're using Calendly on your own, but even that makes a world of difference. And in case you're managing a team, the group and individual employee scheduling makes it an absolute cakewalk. Then there's the customizable branding. It's a useful way to keep your organization on track because it allows you to change up the interface according to your preferences. This isn't a huge plus point, mind you, but it's a nice touch, so I thought I'd mention it. Now, you should know that all of these features are basically absent from Motion. It does share a few basic features with Calendly like calendar management and syncing, but that's like the bare minimum we're talking about. Don't get me wrong, Motion is a perfectly serviceable scheduling tool. Appointment scheduling, availability management, and reminders all come with the territory. You can even automate the scheduling process. So it's not like Motion's just taking your money and giving you nothing in return. It's just that these are all features you can get from Calendly at a comparable price and about a dozen extra features to go with them. The only feature Motion offers that Calendly doesn't is task scheduling. And while that's definitely useful, it doesn't do nearly enough to make up for what's missing. Calendly is not perfect, of course. There's a few features that I could have definitely used, like a customer support database, shift swapping, and timesheet management. All of that would really come in handy for larger scale applications, which is why I'm not giving Calendly a full score here. Instead, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, and Motion gets a 3 out of 5. That's a 9 out of 10 for Calendly, and its competitor is currently sitting at a 7. But what about their integration capabilities? Look, if there's one thing you can say about Calendly, it's that it takes its integrations very, very seriously. I mean, you get over 100 different options here that cover everything from Salesforce to MailChimp. And there's even PayPal and Stripe integration to help you process payments. That really shows how Calendly goes above and beyond to give its users the best possible experience. As for Motion, I'll admit that there are some solid integration choices available. It's definitely a lot better than some of the other tools I've tried, but that doesn't mean it's on Calendly's level. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that Calendly leaves Motion in the dust in this area. The main problem here is that Motion doesn't have native integrations for a few key services. Just take payment processing, for example. There's a way to process payments through Motion so you can have customers book appointments and add them directly to your schedule, but you'll need a third-party tool like Outfunnel to get the job done. That adds an unnecessary layer of complexity to your schedule. If a customer ends up skipping out on the payment, you'd have to manually cancel the appointment. That's definitely not something you'd have to worry about with Calendly though. It essentially serves as a silver bullet that can take care of everything related to your schedule. You'll get emails in the inbox of your choice. You have plenty of options to conduct transactions with clients, and you have nearly 3 dozen customer relationship management tools that you can integrate into your schedule. Calendly earned another 5 out of 5 here for a total of 14. I'm giving Motion a 3 out of 5 again, which brings its aggregated score to 10 out of 15. Before I give my verdict, let's talk about the user experience. Starting with Calendly, I absolutely fell in love with its intuitive, simple design. The ability to create custom links is so easy that even the less tech-savvy crowd can handle it. And there's no headache including clutter that can trip you up when you're trying to get stuff done. I will say that there have been some complaints about the app crashing, but for the most part, the user experience is overall seamless. Motion's interface is also pretty decent. I particularly liked how well organized everything was. But at the same time, it took way too many clicks to get my schedule sorted. You might also have to deal with some errors with the assigned process. They're flexible, but they shouldn't come up in the first place. All in all, Calendly gets a 4 out of 5 here, and Motion gets another 3. So there you have it. Calendly is my pick, and it's easy to see why. 18 out of 20 is a 90% score, or an A+, in other words. And that's a pretty fair indicator of how great Calendly is. The integration and simple interface allow you to focus on what you do best, because the tool handles everything else for you. Motion ended up with a 13 out of 20, which is underwhelming to say the least. There are a lot of potential here, but the folks at Motion's headquarters really need to work on optimizing the app by adding new features and smoothing out the interface issue. But what do you think? Will you give either of these scheduling tools a try? Let me know what you think if you do. But yeah, that's all for me now, and I'll see y'all in the next one.